a Republican lawmaker key to ongoing talks over how to resolve the legal status of Dreamers, is accusing leaders of a bipartisan House caucus of withholding details of a bipartisan compromise on immigration policy that could lead to a breakthrough in protracted negotiations of a major spending bill. Rep. Carlos Curbelo, R-FLA, said Monday that leaders of the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus have waited more than 2 weeks to present a potential compromise to the group of roughly 40 House Democrats and House Republicans. Curbelo, who represents parts of Miami and all of the Florida Keys, is one of the more moderate voices in his caucus and is leading talks with Democrats on immigration reform. He warned that potential compromises need to be revealed this week if Congress has any hope of passing legislation that would enact permanent legal protections for so-called Dreamers, the children of undocumented immigrants, a top Democratic priority, and also make changes in the nation's security plan along the U.S.-Mexico border, which is a key priority for Republicans. This week is pivotal, Curbelo told a group of Latino congressional reporters in a joint interview. He said Rep. Tom Reed, RNY, and Josh Gottheimer, DNJ, leaders of the Problem Solvers Caucus, have not presented the compromise to the entire caucus to try to get the votes necessary to proceed. Time is running out. Spokespeople for Reed and Gottheimer didn't immediately return requests for comment. Since 2012, roughly 800,000 have secured permits from the government, allowing them to work without fear of. Since 2012, roughly 800,000 have secured permits from the government, allowing them to work without fear of. Curbelo said that a group of the caucus members, represented equally by Democrats and Republicans, have been working on a potential compromise for several months on a plan that would merge legal protections for eligible Dreamers with changes in border security. At least 6 bills to address the legal status of Dreamers have been introduced this year. Most Democrats say the DREAM Act, a bipartisan bill that would grant legal protections to eligible Dreamers, should be passed in conjunction with a year-end spending agreement that could be enacted later this month. Dozens of Democrats in the House and Senate have said they will withhold support for the must-pass spending bill if the fate of Dreamers isn't addressed. Curbelo is one of just 2 Republicans. Rep. Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, R-FLA, is the other, who say they would join Democrats in voting against spending legislation if protections for Dreamers aren't enacted by the end of the year. I think this week it's possible that we'll see more, he warned. In response to such threats, House and Senate Republicans have presented several ideas for intensifying enforcement of immigration laws along the southern border and across the country. The plans would provide some funding for construction of a border wall and more money for immigration and customs enforcement and the U.S. Border Patrol to hire thousands of new personnel.